My word shouldn't be good enough, but EU regulators still think it is. On September 29, 2020, word broke regulators from the EU were looking favorably on Google's plan to acquire Fitbit. What pushed regulators over the line and into the "we are all for it" camp? According to a study written by Javier Espinoza for the Financial Times, titled EU Poised to Clear $2.1 billion Google Fitbit Deal After New Promises, it came down to a promise from Google. The promise amounted to the following. Google committed to include a promise not to use the wearable company's data to target adverts for 10 years. Will Google follow the adage, "Don't make promises you can't keep"? If history amounts to anything, some skepticism on Google's follow-through makes sense. Google has made and may have broken promises to the EU before. The most recent twist is the growing level of public frustration EU regulators are venting. This move was captured in a story written back in December 27, 2019 by Nicholas Van Ocour and published on the Politico website titled, "We have a huge problem. European tech regulators despair over lack of enforcement." Politico published Van Ocour's story. The spokesman is unnamed, but the regulation mentioned is none other than the EU's GDPR. And in this case, EU regulators observed that Google was not following through on its promises. And the quote from this unnamed person familiar with the matter went as follows: "It is absolutely unsatisfactory to see that the biggest alleged data protection violations of the last 15 months, with millions of individuals concerned, are far away from being sanctioned." So the EU courts are moving very, very slowly on enforcing a very big, important core plank of their regulatory policy on personal data privacy because they don't have the bureaucratic oomph required to get this job done. In the fall of 2020, the EU still finds itself in the same position, still having to rely on Google's promises. Even the offer to salary on the part of Google an independent trustee is nothing new. Been there, done that, should apply, but for some reason it doesn't in Brussels. Alphabet bulls can rest easy. EU regulations remain toothless. Any chance of real bite is still way out somewhere in the future. The legal resources required are already in place. Related lawsuits have been going on for years, thereby limiting the hit to GAO costs for Alphabet. Smooth sailing ahead, unfortunately for the public yearning for some enforcement of data privacy regulations, both past, present, and future. The EU is not alone in the toothless camp. To date, U.S. regulators haven't done much better. Skeptical viewers need only review the U.S. FTC settlement of 2019 with Facebook to find a similar example of love taps in the form of fines. According to Macro Trends, as of the end of Q2 calendar year 2020, Facebook had $58 billion in cash after paying back the $5 billion fine levied by the U.S. FTC. Incidentally, that amount of cash represented a noted 19.85% increase year over year. Bigger fines are clearly needed from both sides of the Atlantic, but big tech bulls needn't fret about them yet. My name is Ira Michael Blonder. I'm the CEO and founder of IMB Enterprises, Inc. Please visit our webpage, www.imbeenterprises.com. You'll find a blog on our site with over 2,000 posts touching on topics germane to early stage enterprise software businesses from the sales perspective, the marketing perspective, the product marketing perspective, and top-level management decision-making. Please also visit my personal Twitter page at Mike the Bebop and speak with you next week.